So being a tarot reader, it's a strange old job. I often get people come to me and they will be in a state of trauma or shock. They have often exhausted other, perhaps more mainstream options. I often hear, I've tried everything else. I'm desperate. I never thought I'd contact a tarot reader. It's quite a common opening phrase. People when they are in a state of trauma or shock, they often want clear promises that the future's going to be okay. And the problem is, I think tarot picks up on our intention. I think tarot picks up on the life that we are creating at that moment. So if my client is self destructive, traumatic, and has decided that they are, cursed for life, sometimes they mean that literally, sometimes it's just a metaphor, then the tarot can often pick up on that. Excuse me. And it can say, yes, if you carry on this path, if you carry on making these self destructive decisions, guess what? The future's pretty crap. So that is why, and I'll demonstrate the spread in a minute, I always put in advice cards. I mean, arguably, there's going to be odd occasions when I don't, but I usually put advice cards in because it helps my client to lift their head up from sort of the destructive cycle and think, okay, yeah, there's a way to move forward. And it allows me to sort of shape the reading, not where my client is now to the future, but where my client could be moving towards. So my honest advice, whether you're doing a 1 card reading or, a 9 card reading, a couple of advice cards in there is really, really useful. The next thing I always try to put in is a few cards that my client can validate as feeling accurate right now. Because if all I ever talk about is the future, then my client and me, arguably, we have no idea of knowing if we're accurate. I am not one of these people that think that just because I'm reading the tarot cards, I'm some voice of the divine, some oracle of God. We can all be distracted. We can all phrase things wrong. We can all pick up on the wrong energies. So I like to start with something that my client can validate. So I'm going to start by demonstrating this spread. I'm reading for myself because I think it's a real privilege that I'm very lucky to be able to experience. When we see how the cards reflect someone else's life, they really show a depth that just reading about the cards can't demonstrate. And when we always read for ourselves, as many of us do when we're learning, we're always seeing the same things reflected in the cards. So I don't have many set tarot spreads. I tend to listen to what my client wants and I tend to create a spread. It is usually a 9 card spread to try and answer their questions. I usually try and start with where they are now, something they need to know about where they are now, because the problem with only answering my clients' questions is it's keeping them quite single-minded. So by looking at where they are now and what they need to know about that, I'm opening my client's mind to new possibilities and I'm also giving them something they can validate. So if I scoot those out of the way, I've already shuffled this deck and I've already drawn for myself. I'm reading for my own healing journey, very much uppermost in my mind at the moment. And the first card, couldn't ask for more. Don't quite feel there yet, if I'm honest. The world's successful completion, new beginnings, stepping free. One of the most beautiful symbols in, actually, I would say the whole of tarot, is this laurel wreath here. The laurel wreath has been made by human hands. This is success. This is a new beginning. This is an incredibly powerful card. But this laurel wreath, it's been made. This is my card. This is representing me. It is saying that I have made this success. I have worked to create this new beginning, this new healing start. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to say, yep, okay. The Lovers, I am trying to do this. To me, the Lovers is about two different things. They may sound counterintuitive, but they work together really well. It's about surrender. I am trying not to micromanage my life. I am trying not to set specific goals about what I want my life to look like. I am trying to surrender to my best future without over focusing on it. And then the lovers is also about authentic choice. To me, Adam will represent your logical side, Eve, your intuitive side, the angel, your higher guidance. Whenever you see more than one person in a card, they can all represent you. I am trying to live my life by balancing my mind, my heart, my soul. And the emperor. Yeah, I mean, that can mean one of two things. Where I am now, what I need to know, can certainly represent the fact that I'm moving away from my husband, that I have left my husband. The emperor can be father, husband, but it's having a plan. It's also having boundaries. In my healing journey, the one thing I'm working on now is boundaries. So I'm going to honor that. I'm going to say, yep, I'm happy with that. I need to know that I'm perhaps doing better than I thought I was. That's always nice to know. And it resonates. Although it feels slightly ahead of where I am, that's probably my perception. So start with 3 cards. I always read those 3 cards first. I'm looking to my client then, or asking my client, does that feel right for you? Does that feel comfortable to you? Do you understand that? Does that help you to see where you are accurately? Because, of course, many of us, our ego or our monkey mind will chatter and we don't appreciate where we really are in life. We're working from projections and fear. And so this has helped me to see where I am more accurately, what I need to know about my situation. The next 2 cards are advice. They are practical advice. If you're looking for practical advice for each tarot card, do head to my website. I have practical advice for all of the cards because it's one of my absolute things that I love to do. So if you're looking for help on this, head to my website. There's lots there. 3 of Wands, to me, this is about celebrating my success. It's about looking forward with hope. It's about looking to the future. Queen of Pentacles, it's self-nurture. It's diet. It's exercise. It's nurturing my physical health, but it's also being a mother. And hey, I'm a mum of 4 kids. So yeah, that's a big part of my life. And the 2 of Pentacles, I like that. That is about distraction, allowing myself to have fun. It's about stepping away from work, stepping away from personal growth and running the house and doing the shops. That's all. It's what my life, those big sea waves, that's what my daily life looks like. It is big. I am running around from home educating to cooking to working with clients. This is about distraction. When do I turn away from life and just be in the moment? So those are practical advice. Those have now sometimes I can spend quite a long time on these cards, and I can spend quite a long time really engaging with my client about what they mean to them. If I feel my client has had a change in perception, if I feel that my client has understood their situation on a deeper level, I will stop with these 6 cards and I will reshuffle the pack, because they've changed their future by recognizing where they are and by taking intuitive guidance from the cards. For myself, I'm just going to keep going. What does my future look like? The King of Cups, to me, I have seen these cards because, well, I had a little peek. There's only so much I'm prepared to share. King of Cups, to me, that's my role as counselor. A lot of people use me as a tarot counselor. They will book in, for weekly sessions, and it's more of a life coach counseling kind of relationship. And if I'm honest, I really, really like that side of my work. The High Priestess, that's me working as a shaman, a side practitioner. To me, the High Priestess is very linked to Persephone with the pomegranates here, and then also to Hel, the Norse goddess of the underworld, who is, of course, portrayed with half live, half dead face, that yin and that yang. And as a shaman, I work very much with the deity Hel. So my journey, my self-healing journey, actually, it's about stepping into my power, I think, professionally. And the Ace of Swords, one thing I've really come to love is, or to realize, is how much I love teaching. I'm teaching quite a lot on Zoom now, which started small and it's growing. I teach tarot and shamanics, and I'm definitely planning to write to. Well, I am writing a book, but I am planning to focus more on writing a book. So to me, the Ace of Swords would be the teaching and the writing, and that's actually, it is strange how tarot works. In my work diary, I've actually decided that I would like, you know, 33% of my time to be as a shaman, 33% of my time to be as tarot guidance and counselor, and 33% of my time to be teaching and writing. So it's right there. The card at the bottom of the pack, when I'm shuffling, when I'm planning the reading, I decide what it's going to mean. A really useful meaning is things outside of your control. Something you need to know that maybe it's what the world is going to throw at you. And I've got the Seven of Swords. Not the best of cards really to have at the bottom of the pack. If I was going to be super positive, I might say that I'm thinking outside of the box, that I'm taking a risk, that I'm being creative. I have an awful feeling that it's probably more to do with my ex-husband. Maybe that's a conversation I'm not prepared to share on YouTube. But that is how I read for myself. It is how I read for my clients. And I have found it to be incredibly accurate, insightful, and life-changing. And I particularly love, depending on the client, depending on the style of reading, sometimes I will pause after each three cards and leave them there and reshuffle and allow the reading to change to reflect my client's new understanding of their situation. So I hope you found that helpful. Do head to my website. There are oodles of free resources there. And I teach tarot on Zoom most weeks, actually, on a Monday evening. I try to keep my prices really affordable. And all of my tarot workshops are recorded. So even if you can't join live, by booking a spot, you will get the video emailed to you afterwards.